Hey everyone, and welcome to the first ever Originals Unscripted, a different style of video to the Seren Santiago Originals brand. If you're new here, I think we're going to have a lot of new people with this one compared to my previous one. I typically do Loud House based videos like this, but uh, Molly McGee just dropped his second season, at least the first 5 episodes on Disney Plus. The first episode just aired on TV, so I think it's as good a time as any to start branching out and doing some other shows and other things with the Originals brand. There are a lot of things I want to talk about with this episode. I've got a little note sheet here that I'm going to be referencing. Really, the only cuts that are going to be made in the Unscripted series is things like retakes and removing these ums and these uhs and stuff like that, to at least just to keep the video flowing. And that's kind of as far as the editing is going to go. The video side is going to be less audiovisual than the scripted series. I'm probably just going to kind of put slides of major parts of the episode up and let you enjoy those while I discuss the episode with you. So this is not a spoiler-free review. I should make that very clear. This is not spoiler-free. So if you have not seen episode 1, this is only episode 1, A New Paranormal. Please do not watch until you've seen it. I don't want it to be said in the comments section, I spoiled the episode for you, because I'm giving you warning here at the beginning. This is not a spoiler-free review. I'm going to be spoiling parts of the episode. Like I said, the unscripted thing is very different compared to the originals that I typically do, which are scripted, audio-visual, very highly edited. So please drop a comment or tweet me on Twitter at Seren Santiago. Some things that you'd like to see done differently or better with these unscripted things, because it's new to me. I'm trying to build upon it and make these as good as I can make them. Episode 1, A New Paranormal, aired April 1st, 2023 on Disney Channel and was dropped April 2nd, the following day, along with episodes 2 through 5 of Season 2 on Disney+. So there are 5 episodes up in total. I've watched all 5 times it's recording, and I'm only going to be covering one a week as to not spoil things for the people that haven't watched it on Disney Plus or have no access to Disney Plus. I'm not mean like that. So on Monday, typically Monday or Tuesday, one of these will come out where I just kind of discuss the episode in detail. I'll be probably recording these ahead because I have access to the first 5 now. But anyway, I digress. Oh, by the way, I'm going to go in chronological order how it was in the episode. I did my best with my notes to keep it that way. We start with the intro. The intro is mostly the same compared to season 1, but Libby and Jeff have been added to the family hug intro part. So that's a nice thing. Libby is definitely family. Jeff, I'd say he's family. So we start the episode off with Molly and Scratch freestyling the show's theme song and Break the Fourth Wall. I that's one of my favorite parts of this episode. Just seeing them freestyling the show's theme song and having a good time doing it. You can tell that Ashley Birch and Dana Snyder had such a great time recording that. And I think they have a great time recording all of these lines, quite honestly. So we get to see the first ever shot of Daryl's room, something that was missing last season. We never got to see his room at all in season 1. So it was a nice way to see a bit more of his personality. And that was seen when the moving truck was there and Molly was calling for all the forces to come down and be the welcome wagon. While that's happening, while they're staring out the window trying to figure out who is moving in next door, Scratch gets summoned to the ghost world and Molly just stares into space for a second. She does not care at all. It's just become second nature to her because Scratch has been summoned so many times. That's when the ghost council tells Scratch that he is now the leader of the ghost world because he vanquished the chairman. So he is the chairman. That's one way to put it. I didn't see that coming, but maybe I should have. That seems like a really good plot point, and it's nice to see, but I definitely did not see it coming. But like I say, maybe I should have seen it coming. After that, we meet the Chins, Ruben, Esther, Oliver, who I'm going to be calling Ollie from that point forward, and Juniper, who prefers to be called June, and I'll be calling her that from this point forward. They look like a wonderful family, and I'm excited to see what shenanigans they get into with the McGees this season. We've already seen a few in future episodes. It is revealed by June that she is autistic. Nice little bit of representation there that I am really interested to see built upon. Daryl and June seem they're going to be inseparable because of Daryl's love for causing trouble and June's love for building experimental gadgets. And on the other hand, Molly realizes that she has a crush on Ollie almost immediately. I'm going to say that's going to definitely be built upon in later episodes. I think they're made to be. I think that they are made to be. I think that they would make a good chemistry, friends or in a relationship. So I do think that's going to be nice to see how that is built upon in later episodes. So then this one we go back to the ghost world, and if it looks like they do not function well without some semblance of authority. So Scratch has to set in part the no rules rule, as I call it. So next up the box, it says fragile, and Ollie and Molly are anything but fragile. They just take the box, drop it down, and they start transporting it. That's a nice little ad in the edit from what I read on Twitter. Someone in the editing room added that after the fact, and that's a nice little touch. I like when they do that. That's and that at the same time we see Seren and Esther bonding over spicy food, with Scratch getting his ice cream order in the background. Nice little touch there. The background play in this season is actually really good so far. All that ice cream is what Scratch ordered with unrestricted access to Pete's credit card. I think Pete needs to put a lock on that. The Ghost Council decides to visit Scratch, and they have names that sound way too formal, but that's characteristically accurate in my opinion. But is it rude to call them the Ghost Council? I don't think they ever offer their names in Season 1, so not rude to call them that. So let's go back out, and this is when the Chins arrive at their barbecue. Ruben reveals that he also makes root beer, and they're having fun outside while Scratch is in there being tortured by the Ghost Council while he's trying to take his bubble bath. Now, him saying there are rules when I want there to be rules, that is a Scratch thing to say, and a very valid opinion. Back outside, we're bonding over spicy food. Again, with Seren and Esther, Carolina Reapers, all that good stuff. I don't recommend, but if they want to get into that, if they want to bond over that, that's their thing. They can do that. It's a free country. That's when Ollie asks a very valid question about spiders. Why do they have so many legs? Coming from a fellow arachnophobe, why do they have so many legs? That was the perfect cue for Molly and Ollie to go inside. That is hard to say, man. Molly and Ollie. That's when Molly and Ollie go inside, and Molly gives Ollie a tour of the kitchen, where Ingudify is brought up, and that just sounds like a match made in heaven. That sounds like destiny realized. Ingudify and Happify. That's kind of when it seems like Ollie is starting to maybe have a crush on Molly as well, so the feeling is mutual. And then later on, however, that's when he reveals that the Chins are ghost hunters, and Molly is trying to get him away from Scratch. And so he doesn't know where to run when he starts running down to the basement, trying to find those ghosts that she told him about. Molly beelines out to tell her family that the Chins are ghost hunters, utterly embarrassing herself in the process, but that's a small price to pay. They do realize, though, that this is a problem, and they now have to figure out a way to keep Scratch safe, which they do figure that out, and that's all fine and good. Let's go back inside and see what the Ghost Council's doing. They are trying to learn modern dance moves, which I honestly could have done without seeing. Now we gotta get the Chins out, obviously. So what do? We shove down all that food we got at the Big Box Club, including Ollie seeing Molly eating so many beans, and if they become a couple, he will not let her live that down. I'm sure of it. Frightmares are in the house all during this process, so Scratch has to be responsible. Ew. Man, I agree. Responsibility is not fun sometimes. And become the chairman to make the Frightmares behave, which he gives them the boot. And that is literally him giving the boot. So now we got to talk about how do we keep Scratch safe. Staying friends with the Chins, alright? Let's see how that goes. I don't see how that'll backfire in any way. They send the Chins on their way and realize that their ghost signals are off the charts at their house, and they decide to become ghost hunters and start hunting ghosts in Brighton. And that's where the episode ends, and we get into an excellent Season 2 so far, with just one episode out on all platforms. You can watch Season 2, Episodes 1 through 5 on Disney+. I think it's an excellent start to the season. I cannot wait to see the dynamic that the Chins bring to the table. I love Ollie's character. He does remind me of myself in many, many ways. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how all of the dynamics unfold this season, as many things are already changing very quickly. But yeah, I think that this was an excellent episode. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll be back next Monday when we'll be talking about Episode 2. I got a lot of things to say on it, especially 2B. If you like this video, like it down below by pressing the like button. If you're new here, subscribe for new gaming videos, Loud House content, Casa Grande's content, Molly McGee content, every week at 11 a.m. Eastern, sometimes 1 p.m. Eastern, sometimes 3 p.m. Eastern. I do up to 3 videos a day because I have a lot of stuff I enjoy, and that's what this channel's for. It's just for me to do what I enjoy. So yeah, if you like any of what I just mentioned, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That's going to do it. I'll see you next week for another Molly McGee review on Originals Unscripted. Thanks for watching. Reflection.